Hello, how are you? In this section, we will discuss about display properties. In HTML section, we talk about there are two types of HTML elements: block elements and inline elements. Block elements are those take the whole width of their parent elements, and inline elements are those they take only the content width. So we can adjust this behavior by using the CSS display property. So let's see how we do it. So let's have a UL element, and inside that let's have some menu, for example, a line. Then inside this, let's have, for example, home, a line, then about, then contact. Now, if we see the page, we see that there is a bullet and it is a block level element. So if we create, for example, a border for the LI items, let's apply some style first, UL, so then the list style type become none to remove the page. So if we refresh it, we get list items empty. Then to apply the border, for example, for a line, let's see border 1 pixel, solid and gray. Just to show you how much width they take. So all LI elements take the whole width of the body. So we do not want this behavior, so just let's remove it. But we can change the LI display property. By default, LI contains a display of block, that is, since it is a block element, we cannot change it. So let's refresh. That is a block, there is no change on the arrangement. But if you make it, for example, a line, and if you refresh, we see about all LI elements come in horizontal lines. So that is the inline elements. So we can have some margin on the left side. So let's give margin left for all of them to be 5 pixels. So we can have some proper space. So that is how we create menus in when we develop a website. So we can change the block level element into line elements into block level elements. So the second one is we can change also inline elements into block level elements. So let's see one of the inline elements. So let's have some HR rule, and let's create some span elements. This is span 1, and let's copy it by pressing Shift Alt and down arrow, and 3. So let's save it. So all span elements are on horizontal line. Since span element is an inline element, it takes only the required widths, content widths, and the other elements can follow the first or second element. So in order to change this behavior, we can use the display property. So simply we select span, then display, display into block level element. So if we refresh now, we get that span element scale, block level elements. So if we have some border, you can see that border 1 pixel, solid, and right. Span elements take the whole width. But if we change this into inline, as we see, span elements take only the required content width only. So by changing the display property into block, we can change the behavior of an element. This is how we apply block level elements and inline level elements to change or to hold the behavior of another property. Hello, in this section we'll see about the display property display having a value none and a property called visibility having a property none. Both of them show different properties or states. So let's apply a div element and having a class name of div1 and the content of div1, and for the second one having div class of div2 and the content of div2. So let's have style tag, and inside style tag we have a div1 element. For that we give some properties. So let's give it visibility of hidden, which means that the div1 will take up some space, but it is not visible for the user. And let's give even so we can give the width 100 pixel, but it is not visible. Height of 200 pixel, and we can make dot div2 the same way. Display none. So there are two ways to hide the visibility of the HTML elements. One is using display property and having a none value, and the other is display property visibility having hidden value. But the visibility hidden value takes up space and it will not release that space when it is invisible. So let's have some elements, for example, in the middle, div middle element. So let's open the file. As you see, here the space is for the hidden element. The hidden element takes up a space. If we change, for example, the visibility into display none, and if we refresh the page, this box come to at the top because the display name none does not take any space, so it comes to at the top. That is the difference between the visibility property and the display name property. The visibility takes up the space even if it is invisible, and the display none does not take up space. Thank you.